Next, we enter episode 4 of the Hemolytic Hunger Games. We are tackling G6PD Deficiency, an absolute masterclass in biochemical warfare and hemolysis for your USMLE and NEETPG exams. Let's head straight to the wards. Let's review the clinical presentation. This is the 72-hour post-malaria collapse. Look at our patient profile. Vikram, a 22-year-old male admitted for Plasmodium vivax malaria. On day 0, he is started on chloroquine and primaquine to eradicate the liver hypnozoites. His starting hemoglobin is perfectly healthy at 14 gram per deciliter. Look at the day 0 cleared urine sample on the screen. But fast forward to day 3, we have a massive hemoglobin crash. Vikram develops severe pallor and scleral icterus. His urine turns dark cola colored. This is massive hemoglobinuria. His hemoglobin plummets from 14 down to a critical 8 gram per deciliter. What just happened? The malaria did not worsen. The treatment detonated a biochemical bomb. Your drug, primaquine, triggered massive oxidative stress inside the blood. The diagnosis is undeniable. G6PD, or glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase deficiency. Let's look at why his cells exploded. You must understand the chemical armor system. Look at the key insight. RBCs carry pure oxygen, making them massive targets for oxidative free radicals like H2O2. To survive, the cell uses the defender, reduced glutathione, or GSH. GSH neutralizes these free radicals, but there is a catch. The power source for this defense system is NADPH. GSH recycling strictly requires NADPH, which is produced by the HMP shunt via our star enzyme G6PD. Look at the diagram. G6PD makes NADPH, NADPH recycles glutathione, and glutathione turns dangerous oxidative stress into harmless water. Now look at the domino effect of G6PD deficiency. The pathogenesis sequence is simple. No G6PD means no NADPH fuel, and without NADPH fuel you cannot recycle glutathione. Without glutathione, the cell has zero chemical armor. But read the clinical pearl closely. Under normal conditions, deficient cells have just enough enzyme to survive. The system only breaks down when exposed to an external oxidative stressor. So what are those stressors? These are the biochemical detonators. These trigger factors cause oxidative stress and massive hemolysis. First, infections. This is the most common trigger. Macrophages release free radicals to fight invaders, spilling collateral damage into the bloodstream. Second, drugs. Exactly what happened to our patient. Antimalarials like primaquine and chloroquine, sulfa drugs like Bactrim and Dapsone. Third, fava beans. A dietary trigger causing extreme hemolysis, classically known as favism, often seen in Mediterranean variants. When the detonator goes off, we get structural collapse, Heinz bodies. Look at the mechanism. Without glutathione, massive oxidative stress attacks the structural globin chains of the RBC itself. The result is that hemoglobin denatures, cross-links, and precipitates into solid molecular clumps inside the cell. When we look for identification, these solid rocks of damaged hemoglobin are clinically identified as Heinz bodies. Now, what happens to a cell with a rock inside it? It undergoes a splenic quality control, creating bite cells or degmacytes. This concept is literally splenic surgery in action. First is detection. The Heinz body RBCs enter the splenic cords, and patrolling macrophages spot the rigid lumps under the membrane. Next comes the surgery. The macrophage physically bites out the Heinz body, spitting the surviving cell back into circulation. The result? Look at the screen. You are left with the iconic bite cell. G6PD deficiency is uniquely dangerous because it causes the dual vectors of destruction. First, you have intravascular hemolysis happening right in the pipes. Severe oxidative damage destroys the cell instantly in the vessel. Hemoglobin floods the blood, overwhelms haptoglobin, and spills directly into the kidneys. The result is hemoglobinuria or cola urine, we saw in Vikram. Second, you have extravascular hemolysis happening in the spleen. The macrophages devour those structurally damaged bite cells, causing your bilirubin to spike. The result is jaundice and splenomegaly. Listen carefully to board trap number 1. The timing paradox. Examiners will test this constantly. The trap is that testing G6PD levels during an acute crisis often yields completely normal results. Why? Look at the mechanism. The older, highly deficient cells have already exploded. The bone marrow has pumped out fresh, young reticulocytes to compensate, and young reticulocytes have robust normal G6PD levels. Memorize the clinical rule. Never test during an acute episode. Wait 6 to 8 weeks for the steady state cell population to reveal the true baseline deficiency. Next is board trap number 2, visualizing the invisible. If you order a standard smear, like a Wright or Leishman stain, you cannot see Heinz bodies. The standard staining process completely washes them out. You need a special smear required. You must explicitly order a supravital stain such as a crystal violet or methylene blue. Lock in this exam reflex. If a test vignette states Heinz bodies visualized on crystal violet stain, you instantly select G6PD deficiency and secure your points. Let's summarize the battlefield with the definitive G6PD reference metrics. Inheritance, X-linked recessive, meaning it is male predominant. Core defect, loss of NADPH leading to a depleted reduced glutathione shield. Morphology, Heinz bodies on a supravital stain, converting to white cells after splenic clearance. Hemolysis, mixed, intravascular causing the cola urine and extravascular causing the jaundice. Clinical pattern, it is strictly episodic and paroxysmal. It requires an oxidative trigger to initiate the crisis. Take a screenshot of this matrix. Let's wrap up our case. Vikram will recover, but who is next? Our resolution is that G6PD is aggressive but self-limiting. Stop the trigger, hydrate the patient to protect the kidneys from the hemoglobinuria, and the marrow recovers on its own. But I leave you with a teaser. What if the destruction doesn't wait for a drug or a fava bean? What if a stealth complement squadron slaughters your blood cells while you sleep? In our next briefing, we'll see paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuria, the midnight assassin.